Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm the Tilted Crown Gourmet. Have you ever woke up in the morning and said, I'm not quite sure what I want to make for dinner? Well, today happened to be one of those days for me. Therefore, I decided I wanted to make chili because with those, it's a classic, number one, it's a classic. And with those warm and robust flavors and spices, it's perfect for any occasion. I'm going to be taking you along for that journey, and today is going to be my master class in making this New York style chili. Are you ready? If so, let's roll up those sleeves, let's get some prep done, and let's get cooking. We'll be using an array of rich ingredients to build the layers of flavors in our chili, starting with 5 pounds of beef brisket that we're going to be cutting into 1-inch cubes. Now, through the magic of editing, we're going to skip right to the end. After you have cut up all of your meat into cubes, we want to then put them on paper towels because we want the meat to be really dry. It will brown better if it's dry. That is a lesson learned from Julia Childs. When I was cutting my meat into the 1-inch cubes, of course it's brisket. It's gonna have some fat on it. Do not throw it away. I get it and I put it in my Ziploc bag and I put it in the freezer because it's perfect when I'm making smash burgers or some ground meat. I will put the additional fat into the meat to adjust my fat to meat ratios. First, we'll heat a 1/4 cup of olive oil in a large pot over medium to medium-high heat. Once hot, we're going to add our beef brisket in batches, browning on all sides. This step is crucial to lock in those juices and develop a deep, savory base for our chili. Once browned, remove your meat and place it into a bowl so that you can collect any juices that are released. We will be placing this back into our chili later. We will repeat this browning process until all of our meat has been browned. While our meat is browning, let's switch over to our onions as they will be going in next. How you cut your onions is up to you at this point. I prefer a smaller dice. Nevertheless, if you want a larger dice or if you want slices, that's definitely up to you. Just make sure your slices are uniform. Now that our onions are diced, we're going to set them aside and we'll move on to our garlic. Dice your garlic per how you like it or run it through a garlic press. Now that our garlic is diced, we'll set it aside and we'll continue to brown our brisket. In the meantime, we can move on to our bell peppers and our tomatoes. Dice your bell pepper, in this case both a green and a red one, into even dices. Again, the dice doesn't really matter as long as they are uniform. Pour your tomatoes and roughly chop them, again keeping them fairly uniform in size. You'll place them into a bowl so that you will collect all of their juices. Next, we'll saute our yellow onions for approximately 8 minutes, allowing them to cook until they are soft and fragrant. Following the 8 minutes, we'll place in our garlic. Now it's time to spice things up with our chili powder, crushed red pepper, cayenne pepper, and cumin. We're going to stir this well to combine to allow the spices to toast and release their aromas, which should take approximately 1 to 1.5 minutes, being careful not to burn your spice or your garlic. Add your diced bell peppers, followed by your chopped tomatoes with their liquids. Give everything a stir, combining all of your ingredients. We will now reintroduce our briskets with all the accumulated juices. Season with salt and freshly ground black pepper and give everything a stir. Place in your bay leaves and just before covering, add your red wine. Stir to combine all the ingredients, bring your mixture to a simmer and cover and reduce the heat to low and allow it to cook gently for approximately 2.5 hours. During this time, your brisket will tender and all the flavors will have melted together beautifully. After 2.5 hours, this is what it looks like. Stir prior to tasting for seasoning. Generally, what is needed at this point is salt. There's plenty of pepper in the dish, but make sure you adjust the salt level until you are satisfied. For an extra depth of flavor, pour in your strong coffee or your espresso. This might sound unusual, but trust me, it adds a wonderful richness to the chili. Stir well and recover and simmer for an additional hour. During the last few minutes of your chili cooking, chiffonade your basil. Now we're going to add our rinsed kidney beans and give everything a stir. And finally, we're going to add our fresh basil. We're going to allow this to cook for another 5 minutes, allowing the beans to heat through and the basil to infuse its fresh flavor. We'll serve our hot chili by placing it into shallow, warmed bowls. This can be served alone, or you can place some sour cream and cheese or even extra basil on the side. I chose to garnish my chili with sour cream, followed by freshly grated cheese and additional basil. This is a hearty and spicy chili, and it's perfect for a cozy night, or it's great for feeding a crowd. And there you have it, a robust yet flavorful chili that is sure to impress. Thanks for joining me on this chili masterclass, the Tilted Crown Gourmet. Let your kitchen continue to be your passport to the world, and as always, bon appetit.